Thank you, Alistair. So apparently 70% of people in this room would rather have no need to own a car rather than having a Tesla, given a chance, parked in front of the house. Either it's a room full of liars, or it shows that we are among like-minded people and we do understand what one of the biggest challenges we face nowadays in what we do is really shifting from private car use and ownership towards more of a shared mobility model. We're going to showcase an example of one of the projects that we do at Stantec. We're working in a multidisciplinary team. We really look at creating new communities, promoting development that is sustainable, and when it comes to mobility, really try and push towards a shared mobility model. A lot of what is happening, and a lot is happening, is city-focused. We are working now on a big project in London, Barking Riverside, that in practice is going to be almost a car-free neighborhood. That is absolutely mind-blowing to me. But we know that a lot of us don't live in London. A lot of us don't live in big cities. A lot of us, at the moment, live in places where they need to use a car. They need to use a car to shop. They need to use a car to go to the local school. They need to use a car to go to the nearest train station, because there aren't really good options out there not to have to use the car. And we're going to have a look at how we're trying to tackle this issue. So looking at garden communities, a well-established British model. Interestingly, when this emerged more than 100 years ago, it was based on shared transport, shared mobility infrastructure. At the time, cars weren't really there, and what Ebenezer and Howard envisaged as garden cities to be was a settlement, a development pattern that was based on public transport, on railway. But this is how most of those places look nowadays. Letchworth Garden City, if you go there, as if you go to many places out in this country where all you see are cars, all you see are streets built mainly for cars, and we all know why, because people want a car and because people need a car if they have to live in places like this. How do we change this? This is just one of the examples of the many projects we are currently involved with. Southeast of England, big site, greenfield site, close to a well-established town called Hailsham, right next to a big road, an A road. Back in the days, this would have been a major advantage. Yeah, you have immediate direct access to a major road. Bingo, that's a place for development. Nowadays, that is an issue, The site has been promoted in the past, and the local authority came to the conclusion that it wasn't believable that people living there would have used anything else than cars to move around. Therefore, yes, they could get access to the A road, but that would have, just packed the local network with cars. Therefore, no, we cannot do that. Promoted in the past, unsuccessfully. New client, us working on it for the first time, we try to tackle the issue in a different way. Oops, sorry guys. Next. Oh no. Did I break it? I did break it. Help. Yeah, go on. Thank you. Well, first of all, why are we doing this? Because people need places to live. We have housing crisis, affordability issues, and places like this, yes, you know, Greenfield site, rural location, but still a place where local people want to keep living. The local population is growing, and it's one of the most beautiful parts of the country as people are looking to relocate there. And there is a housing need. And yes, this is not the perfect place for housing. No place out there is perfect and totally constraint-free, but it's much better than, you know, the rest of the local council. You know, we are surrounded by national parks. Oops, too fast. There you go. So how do we start? We start with prioritizing telling a good story. We are storytellers. Yes, we are also engineers and everything else. But when you promote a site, the very first thing is to set the scene. To really convince people that that is not just going to be a commuter place. So it's not about the number of houses that you can get on there. Yes, that is important. But it's about, you know, what makes a place, you know, in terms of landscape, in terms of opportunity, in terms of users, in terms of connection to what is already there. And it's bringing the 15 minutes neighborhood concept, which is a city-based concept, into a suburban rural location. And here comes the challenge, because having facilities, we all know what the 20 minutes neighborhood principle is, you know, it's everything, having everything you need in close proximity. Well, that works well if you are in the center of London, but that's more difficult to achieve if you are in a rural suburban location. More difficult, but not impossible. And again, it's pushing at introducing the right users, pushing at creating the right type of environment, and pushing at creating as much as possible connections to what's already there. Connections that are physical connections, are physical links to an existing network and physical improvement to an existing network. But perhaps more importantly are links and connections to the existing community, to the local authority, to the local stakeholders. For these, we worked a lot for local transport providers, for instance. And because if change has to happen, and a major urban extensions like this in such a location, it is going to be a massive change for the local community. Well, the sooner you bring everyone on board, the sooner you work together in sharing the vision for a site, the more plausible is the fact that a sustainable future is really going to happen. Going more into the specific, how do we try to achieve this? Well, as other people in this room already said, it's really about the quality of the places you're going to create. It's really about perhaps not much new technology. In fact, a lot of it is it's quite simple things that have been there for quite a while, like you know, understanding how to juggle density, where to concentrate people more rather than not, how to make use of the open space in a multifunctional way, how to really bring everything together, create a place that is beautiful, that is attractive, where people would want to live, and introducing interventions which, again, they're not necessarily high-tech type of measure, not necessarily high-tech type of interventions. And again, we often look at precedents abroad. A lot is happening in this country already. A lot of the precedents that are here are taken from Walthamstow Central. I mean, again, it's London, but you know, all this could also happen in more rural, suburban locations, really starting creating places, as we have started in this country, that prioritize people walking and cycling and create an environment that is favorable for this. And that's an interesting one. Jason Lewis, who is the one of our transport planning director that works on this site, would be able to give you more detail on this. It's really challenging ways we operate. When I started working here, I was told that the paradigm is that the famous 5 minutes walking distance to a bus stop. That's the law. Like God has told people that you have to be at 5 minutes walking distance from a bus station, which caused most of the bus routes in this country to be all higgledy-piggledy and wiggledy, because they have to go through all these new suburban developments that have happened all over the place, meaning that what is now a quite decent bus frequent journey from the town center of Hailsham to the nearest train station, about 15 minutes, decent. Well, if the same bus route had to be rediverted through the site, that would have made it much longer. Yes, perhaps served better the new neighborhood, but would have created a much worse experience and a much worse journey for everyone else. And it's like, well, and then perhaps you can rethink this 5 minutes distance concept and think more about a hub. We call it a mobility hub. Someone here earlier called it a community hub. Yeah, why shouldn't the two words be interchangeable? A place that makes public transport attractive, comfortable, and why not create a local destination? Why not link it to the amazing open space and parkland that is going to be created, a place where not only people travel, but next to where people live, and perhaps next to the local shop, next to the local coffee place, and really embedding, removing the separation between transport engineering and placemaking, and really binding the two things together. And as Jason would say, shifting from, and I quite like this, from assess worst case and predict and provide, 2,000 new homes equals X amount of new car journeys, to this is what we want to achieve, let's work for that. With this in mind, we are not creating streets, we are not building houses, we are not dealing with floods. We are creating communities, and everything else is just a tool. And that's it.